Welcome to the Education Exchange. I'm your host, Jeremy Caius, Superintendent, Tolleson Union High School District. And our guest here today is Mr. Mark Cornell, the president of the Mattel Adventure Theme Park. Let's tee it off. Mark, tell the audience a little about yourself.
Well, my pleasure to be here, Jeremy. First of all, thank you very much. Dedicated about 30 years of my life to the entertainment industry. Initially started in training fighter pilots in simulation. During a government administration, the Navy budget was cut, and I transitioned into taking that same simulation device that would train fighter pilots into the virtual reality world of theme parks, right? What a great sort of start. It's not exactly the path that I thought I would take in my career, but boy, once you get into the entertainment business, it's sort of, it gets in your chest, and I haven't looked back. So 30 years in this business, and I've traveled the world, and I've probably created some of the best guest experiences and theme parks, in the world, and super proud of that. And just about everything you do in life leads you to, where you are right now, and very proud of where we are with just on the cusp of opening the Mattel Adventure Park.
All right, let's talk about that, because not only is that very exciting for you, that's very exciting for our entire community. We are all looking forward to the opening of the Mattel Adventure Theme Park. I'll tell you, I drive by there every single day. It's on my path between home and work, so I get to see all the little incremental steps towards completion. We see the roller coasters, we can see the hotel coming along, but what exactly is going to be inside this Mattel Adventure Theme Park, and when can we see some of these phased openings?
First of all, thank you for watching, because every day I'm doing the same thing every day when I get up out of bed and drive to the corporate office, which is right across the 101 North there, and a new piece of roller coaster track or an enclosure of a building or another ride that goes in. It's just one step closer to this opening. There are about 20 attractions inside of this theme park, all themed to Mattel toys. I mean, we're talking Hot Wheels, Thomas the Tank Engine, Masters of the Universe, Barbie, the Mattel games. There's a whole lineup of Uno and Rock'em Sock'em Robots and Pictionary, and all of these games come to life in the form of a ride or an attraction. So, a couple of our favorite attractions are the ones you can see from the highway. The Hot Wheels Twin Mill Racer. This is our thrill coaster. This is the one that you see the loops and double corkscrews, and this is a coaster like no other. Orange track, completely themed to Hot Wheels. The vehicle you in is actually that Corvette Twin Mill model, right? 1,600 horsepower, twin engines in front of you. There's some images online that we've released that I encourage you to go look at, but it's utterly fantastic. The second coaster is the Bone Shaker, the number 2 selling Hot Wheels car of all time. Chrome engine, flames down the side. This is our family coaster. This ride literally has a lift that goes through the roof. Out on the rooftop and comes a rooftop coaster. Now, it's about 87 feet in the air. This is probably going to be the first coaster for hundreds and thousands of kids, right? So the young kids, you can be, with an adult, you can be 36 inches to ride this ride, right? So the nice thing about this coaster is we're going to have a video capture, so you'll be absolutely able to record yourself on this thing, and it's all part of our package. Goes over the side of the roof, zooms back into a 660-degree helix, and comes right back in the building. One thing I've not touched on, which really makes this theme park so unique, this is an indoor park, and primarily the rides are queuing, and they are loading and unloading indoors. Now, everyone wants to know, how can you build a theme park in Arizona? It's so hot here, right? Well, we've conquered that. We've cracked that code. Being indoors, to queue, waiting for your ride, going outside for, 1 to 2 minutes on a roller coaster ride, coming back inside, slamming on the brakes on a roller coaster. Well, that's just an ideal sort of scenario for the Hot Wheels brands. A couple more attractions that we need to mention. First ever themed laser tag in the world. We are doing He-Man versus Skeletor, Masters of the Universe. Now, this is a brand that's been around for a long time. Certainly, stronger than ever, coming out with a Hollywood film. So we're super excited about that. We have a whole world of Sodor, which is the Thomas and Friends attractions. 5 Thomas attractions. This is for a younger crowd and moms. We have an enclosed playground area that's over 2,000 square feet. This is an entirely themed area. It's the entire west side of our park. So very family based. The Barbie Beach House is going to be an epic and iconic addition. We are actually building a Barbie beach house right on the water, right on the white sand. And inside is everything from extravagant retail, right? That just touches all Barbie and all the right sort of home decor, on brand for, Barbie beach accessories. Second floor is party rooms, and we have a very unique experience called the Barbie Dream Closet. This is a build your own Barbie. Pick your skin color, your hair color. And then we have holograms and projection mapping in a completely themed experience where you get to accessorize and work with Brooklyn and Malibu from the Netflix Barbie show. And they help you accessorize your doll. And it just doesn't get any better than that. The top floor, a 400-seat Barbie rooftop bar and grill. So it's a complete Barbie rooftop experience. So these are just a couple of my favorites. There's over 20 attractions in the park, but this is just to, sort of wet the whistle, so to speak.
And I'm hearing rumors that there's going to be pink hamburgers at that Barbie restaurant.
Oh, I'm not sure we're going to have pink hamburgers, but you will see some things that are certainly, Barbie themed, right? So we're going to have a beautiful Barbie menu. As a matter of fact, we're very excited to announce that we just hired our general manager for the park and a general manager for the food and beverage. We can get into that a little bit maybe when we talk about jobs, but we're super excited about the team that we're putting together for this project.
Well, and I'm super excited that you're bringing back all of the classics, right? So for my generation, you look at He-Man. I'll tell you, our district has adopted Knowledge is Power as our theme for this year. So each year we have an annual theme, and this year's theme is Knowledge is Power. And essentially, when we finish our staff development day, it's I have the power. So just like He-Man. But I like how you mentioned that you're going to get the younger generation involved with some of these classic themes through movie releases. Could you touch a little bit on some of that? So you've mentioned a lot of classic themes. What's the plan to get the newer generation involved?
Well, there's something for everyone in this park. We talked about coasters, right? So we have a thrill coaster for all the thrill seekers, right? And we have a family coaster where even young kids can get into the fun. An area dedicated to Thomas, but look, there's something for everyone at the Barbie, beach house as well. We'll be serving pink mocktails and cocktails, in a bar. So I'm very proud of the wide demographic reach. Barbie was, sort of created in 1959, Hot Wheels 1965. This is my grandparents knew these brands, right? My future grandchildren will know these brands. Hot Wheels cars, by volume, number one toy in the world. 17 million cars sold per month. Barbie, by far, one of the biggest revenue generators of all time for toys. These are the leaders in the industry, and they're evergreen. And I don't ever believe they've been brought to their fullest. And that's what we're doing. We're bringing these brands to life in a very new way with millions of dollars of development for premium guest experiences. So we've really thought this out well, whether it's the menu in the Hot Wheels, Legends Bar and Grill, or the Barbie rooftop, experience, to the types of rides that we have throughout the park. At first, the big challenge was to overcome the heat in Arizona. But then, soon after we cracked that code, I just was so pleased how we've brought these brands to life. I can't wait for you to see it. When you get here, you're going to be, that's exactly what Mark was talking about. So I'm very, very happy about the team that we pulled together to be able to pull this off.
Well, Mark, let's talk about that team, and let's talk about how you're going to have to expand that team. Now, you mentioned you're going to have roller coasters, you're going to have restaurants, obviously a wide array of jobs. You have the Vi Resort next door. What does that look like in terms of job creation?
Well, let's talk about jobs, right? Jobs. What does it take to run a park like this, right? It's a significant park, 9 acres of attractions. It'll be more than 400 people in our estimates. That's a lot of people. I love the fact that we're bringing, jobs to the Glendale area for sure. Those jobs range, as you can appreciate, from, engineers that take care of the park, to let's get into the, the frontline staff. You can think about this. You could be a server at the Barbie rooftop bar and grill. You could be a ride operator. Can you imagine being the person that pushes the button to launch a very high-tech, LSM launching roller coaster? I mean, that's pretty darn exciting. It was one of my jobs early on in the theme park, was to be a ride operator. Guest services, ticket sales, behind the scenes, as well as, interacting with the guest up front. Behind the administrative side, it's just like any other business, HR, IT, engineering, all of these things come into consideration. But the real frontline jobs, I think touch, your student body. We want to create interest with your student body to come apply for jobs. I mean, I think, this is your backyard, right? We're neighbors. You can see me from your house, so to speak. And we'd love to create as much interest as we can. But I got to warn you, once you get in this business, it gets in your chest. It's easy to love. There are a lot of ways to make money. There are a lot of jobs sort of out there, but to be able to be a part of the magic, to create, a fabulous guest experience, to be able to touch these brands and to work in an environment where you hear kids laugh, where there's joy in the employee, sort of in your colleagues, right? That's the sort of culture and environment we're inviting. So if you have a passion and a love for hospitality, we want you to come work for us. I mean, that is the key ingredient.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit, Mark. So if I start off working over at the theme park, and let's say I'm starting off there as a teenager, and I do fall in love with being involved in this industry, how does someone go from pushing the button to launch the roller coaster to being as successful as you are? And what are some of the steps in between on that career path?
Yeah, I think if you can find a passion in any industry, look, I'm a little slanted here. I'm a little, in favor of my own business for sure. But, you sort of have to ask yourself, what moves you, right? What gets you motivated? What gets you out of bed without an alarm clock, right? What is it's so important to have a job that you're passionate about. You know what I mean? Early on, we all, I think we make decisions. We just take a job, make some money. It's a trade-off. I'm going to give my time to be compensated. I believe there's something bigger and better. And I found that in my life, and I've never let go of it. Once you find your passion, you just got to stay with it. I think it's easy to find passion in entertainment, but there are several ways to move up in any business. In our world, in this hospitality entertainment world, if you have a passion for the guest experience, if you work hard, if you do your job well, you take some pride in your job, yourself, your colleagues, your guests, you're just going to move up. It's just how it is. You get rewarded for being, a good employee, a sort of ambassador of entertainment or hospitality. It gets recognized in my business. We've created a culture in our company here, in our park, that allows for those who really want to advance in this business, who give themselves to this job, who find their passion and guest experience. There'll be several ways. Now, look, college is fantastic. I encourage it. I think it's a great time in life to, mature your brain, find more interests, educate yourself, get a degree, so a little more accomplished on paper. But it's not the only path. I have a few people in my organization that didn't go to college. Their college was working hard, a resume of Disney, Universal, Legoland, and that was their college. That was their experience. And you can see in their resume how they've moved up. So college isn't always, mandatory. Maybe 20 years ago, I would have just insisted that's the only path. But there are other paths. And, I've just come around to that thinking. Again, I'm an advocate of continuing to educate yourself your whole life, but not a necessity. So in essence, you can work your way from, entry level position to an executive position. If you do your job well, you're advancing, you're learning. The work hard ethic just really works in my work culture here.
Well, you're creating a lot of exciting opportunities over there, but those opportunities extend even beyond the job opportunities and into opportunities for joy, excitement, happiness for families. The school districts, of course, mine will selfishly be your backyard, but I know all school districts are looking to get more involved with the Mattel Adventure Theme Park. They're going to want to go over there and have prom events. We're looking at, physics days, field trips. There's just so much that can be done at a theme park, and we haven't had an opportunity like this before. So where do you see the Mattel Adventure Theme Park right now in terms of timeline on when they're ready to start some of those partnerships with school districts?
So everything in our scheduling, everything in our efforts is to be open December, end of the year. And, tying this to, group events, field trips, being able to, host, large student body sort of, proms or, that will certainly come right after opening. There's a process in opening a very large theme park. You want to get your guest experience right. So we're going to open soft, and we're going to get it all right. We're going to get our employees trained. We're going to find out how many people fit in a building, sort of properly. We're going to polish all of our guest experiences and make sure all of our attractions are as good as they can be. I can promise you there's always tweaks. I've done this too many times in opening a world-class attraction. You think it's perfect on paper. You get it open, and guess what? Your guest tells you that something needs to be tweaked. Or, wow, it's uncomfortable. This is a longer queue line experience than I anticipated. We think we've thought of everything, but there's always something to improve on. So once we're open, we'll be absolutely excited to take on, group discussions. And, we'd love to have the student body out for an event at our park. Love that.
Oh, absolutely. And so we've had you out to the school several times now. You've met a lot of our students over at Copper Canyon High School.
That's right.
When we stand on the football field at Copper Canyon, we can see the roller coasters. We can see the hotel going up. And you've referenced how Copper Canyon is home field. It feels that way to us too. But let's talk about that partnership. What are some of the things that you can see that partnership growing into when we talk about being the home field for Mattel Adventure Theme Park?
I like that home field sound. Doesn't that sound good?
Oh, it rings off well for me. I'm all for talking to my governing board about renaming that football field to Mattel Adventure Theme Park field.
My goodness, now you're really wooing me. Look, some of it's by proximity. Hey, you're the closest, high school to me, right? I mean, I feel, and two, a lot of that's to do with you and your staff and your student body. It's been so well received here. I know it's an exciting topic to come talk about, right? Arizona's, first real theme park and such magical brands to bring to life. But it's how I've been received, right? It's the response from the crowd when we talk about, show images of roller coasters or the Barbie Beach House. And, I feel, a connection, it's why I am. I'm back again, right down the street. It's not much of a commute, I can tell you, to get here, right? So, Madison said we could walk today, to get here. So, I generally, believe, as we get closer, I want my marketing team, we got to get past me, because there's the doers that, that really make some of these things happen. So I'd like to get my marketing team in here and talk to some key people in your staff. How do we leverage this relationship to its fullest? I mean, I know I need, to fill jobs, and, we certainly need patrons to come to our park. And, I just think we should be figuring out, just about every way we can, to work together. I think we are, aren't we? I mean, here we are again today.
Yes, absolutely. And we'll be together again. We have our commitment day. So I know I've reached out to you before about being a part of our commitment day, where we are going to talk to all of our students. We're going to bring them out to State Farm Stadium and talk to them about what life looks like after high school, and have them commit to what their next step is going to be after high school. And we're looking forward to having Mattel Adventure Theme Park out there. That event's going to take place September 17th and 18th at State Farm Stadium. And I'm hoping that's good timing for you guys being ready to start doing some interviews to fill some of those jobs. So you have people on staff by December. What are you thinking about how well that'll work with your timing on when you're looking to hire?
I think it's a great time to talk about the numerous and wide variety of jobs that'll be available for this theme park. September, it's just a few months out, and, we have a wonderful training program, and, I think the timing is right. And, having, maybe we can communicate this, but maybe we could set up, a table and bring in some of my key staff and our HR team, and start talking about recruitment and, the timelines and when we would bring people in for training. As we get a few months past, into the summer, as every day that goes by when we get closer to opening, we get a better feel for the schedule. So much going on at once, right? It's a $1 billion resort that's going on right now. Hotels are going up, and, we're digging holes for foundations for the Barbie right now. The roller coasters are up. We should have roller coaster cars on tracks here in the next 45 days to start testing. So all of these things are going on at once. I mean, there's 17,000 line items on a master project management schedule. So we get a little further into summer, I think we can absolutely, it just makes sense. We can dial in September for a discussion on jobs. That sounds exciting.
Absolutely. Now, before we let you run away from us, any little teasers you want to let out there for the audience about what to expect at the adventure park?
This is where I get into trouble, and I invite you to get me in trouble. Couple of sound bites. Just did some we're doing some testing on our LSM launching roller coaster, the Twin Mill, right? The Hot Wheels Twin Mill. This is the one that shoots out of a tunnel and goes into a double loop, comes back through a double corkscrew through the loops, and pretty darn amazing. So with the with all of the calcs recently, we are just under 60 miles an hour in 3 seconds coming out of the tunnel. So that was I love saying that. Doesn't that sound good?
Oh, yeah. I want to be the first in line for that one.
We're going to put you and the sandbag next to each other. You're going to be the first car. You sure you're up?
Let's do it. I'm up for it. If I have to do some yellow paint on my face to make it match for where I'm going, just let me know. I don't mind being the crash test on that
I'm
one.
sure we can do that. The second thing is I'm so proud. We have we've hired our general manager. We're going to be announcing that for the park. Super established, person. Well decorated in the theme park business, comes from some of the biggest parks in the country, worked at Disney, SeaWorld, Legoland. There's a lot that's so exciting about that. We've also hired our general manager of food and beverage local to Phoenix, which I love that. We always reach out locally first for talent. And it's just, it's usually a better fit. They understand the market a little bit. So those are a couple things. This one's good. We really want this park to be successful the next 50 years. I mean, we really do. So what does that take? And you have to ask yourself, how do you stay fresh? How do you stay new? How do I keep my Arizona patrons who really, this is their park, how do we keep them excited? I'm happy to tell you I'm already working on some amazingly exciting new attractions for phase 2 that could open 2 years later. That's the sort of thought process that we're taking this. There's some trends in the Mattel Toys brands, and we're seeing some toys that are sort of elevated and moving up in popularity, and we are embracing some of these already for a phase 2 attraction sort of component. So that's exciting. That's come about in the last 60 days. So I think those are just a couple of things that I wanted to leave you with. We're really excited to be here in Glendale, and love that you're our neighbor.
Well, that's a couple of great teasers right there. So not only do we have the excitement of looking forward to the opening of our first ever theme park, but you're letting us know right now there could be more in store a couple more years down the road with a possible second phase. So that excitement will continue.
Okay. Yeah, it is. And I mean, look, when we get open, you're going to be wowed and amazed. but we're going to keep it fresh. We're committed to that. The guest experience is everything to us.
Well, we appreciate you bringing this opportunity over to our community and being able to create these jobs, but also create these opportunities for joy and excitement for all of our students, our families, the members of our community. So definitely appreciate Mattel Adventure Theme Park.
Jeremy, I just wanted to thank you for taking it easy on me. You really threw me some softball questions, and my heart is very dear to this school and the great work that you do. I'm very appreciative of that, and I love that you keep in contact with me. And we just rolled out some new Mattel Adventure Park hats, so I wanted to bring you that and give this to you today, and let you wear it around your school today, and let the kids know you've got a great connection with our theme park.
Oh, Mark, I appreciate that. I'll actually start wearing it right now. Make sure I get this adjusted right for my size. I got a little bit of a noggin here.
Hey.
So want to thank all of you again for tuning in to The Education Exchange, where we aim to enlighten parents and empower our students. And we really appreciate our guests, Mark, the president of the Mattel Adventure Theme Park, and we appreciate our listeners. We hope you tune in again next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's the end of our show. Thank you for listening. The Education Exchange is brought to you by Superintendent Jeremy Calles and produced by the Tolleson Union High School District. To learn more about the guests you heard on today's episode, please visit us at www.tuhsd.org. And if you like this podcast, please give us a like, hit that subscribe button, and tune in next week for another episode of The Education Exchange.